The one real reason why Canelo Alvarez and DAZN are about to fall out is not what you think. Knuckleheads, welcome to the Fighters Rep, where we give you free fights, interviews in the fight game, and fight commentary from the mind of a promoter. There is one reason, Knuckleheads. While the DAZN and Canelo Alvarez may fall out, and it may be the evisceration of one of the biggest contracts in combat sports, but I do not believe it's the reason that everybody thinks it is. At least not the de jure reason, but it is the de facto reason. Now, what do I mean? Well, Canelo Alvarez and DAZN right now, they're at an impasse. And the reason for the impasse is their interpretation of the word premier. Because Canelo Alvarez, in his 5-year, 11-fight, $365 million contract with DAZN, is supposed to provide them annually with at least one premier fight. The problem for Canelo is that it's DAZN that gets to determine what a premier fight is. So regardless of who's interpreting what, it's a problem for Canelo. Nonetheless, DAZN does not think that Avni Yildirim is a premier fight, whether you agree with it or not. And Golden Boy seems to think that he is a premier fight. A guy who, last time we saw him, lost to Anthony Durrell. But I digress. So this is the reason. This is the reason that we're being told Canelo Alvarez and DAZN have a rift. And you may see the evisceration of one of the biggest, if not the biggest, contract in combat sports history. But I'm going to tell you guys what the real reason is. The real reason that this is happening is because DAZN doesn't understand the game. They don't understand the game because they haven't been corrupted by boxing. Follow me on this one. Knuckleheads. They don't understand the game, so they don't understand the corruption that's become normalized in boxing. The A side versus B side fights. The manufacturing of champions by feeding them 20 or 30 hand-picked tomato can opponents. DAZN doesn't understand that. DAZN's not a fighter. DAZN's not a trainer. DAZN's not a manager. DAZN's not really a promoter. DAZN is a subscription platform trying to get subscribers to pay money for their service. And as such, they want Canelo Alvarez to fight the best available opponent, aka the premier opponent. And they believe Gennady Golovkin is a premier opponent. I'm sure they would probably believe Artur Beterbiev or David Benavidez are premier opponents, not Avni Yildirim. But the problem with them not understanding the game is that those are fights, Benavidez and Beterbiev and Golovkin, that Canelo Alvarez can lose. And a promoter like Oscar De La Hoya with Golden Boy doesn't want his guy to lose. The other problem is DAZN has put $365 million of money behind Canelo Alvarez. If he loses one of those fights, what happens then? This, Knuckleheads, is a prime example of the manifestation of the rift between reality and boxing reality. This is the manifestation of the corruption of boxing, the bullshit that I've been arguing against for years on this channel. And one of the things that spurred me to create Fighters Rep Promotions, one of the only kickboxing promotions around. So now Canelo and DAZN are at each other's throats and at an impasse because of this semantics argument, because of this interpretation of what's premier and what's not premier. But what we have to understand is that it all stems from corruption, from handpicking opponents, from manufacturing champions, stuff that DAZN doesn't understand, stuff that the boxing establishment understands. Canelo Alvarez wants to fight Yildirim, the easiest guy at super middleweight. Canelo fought Sergey Kovalev, the easiest guy at light heavyweight as far as champions go. And DAZN doesn't want that. So what do you do now? $365 million are on the line. DAZN is threatening not to pay Canelo the $35 million guaranteed in the fight if he fights Yildirim. Knuckleheads. Boxing corruption. That's what I think is the cause. That's what I think is the real reason behind the rift between Canelo Alvarez and DAZN. You got a guy who wants to fight easy fights. You got a company that wants to see the best fights happen for its clientele. And it's just clashing. Tell me if you agree with me. Let me know what your opinion is. I look forward to hearing it. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification icon next to it. Join Knucklehead Nation. And then the link below, get your Fighters Rep gear, shirts, masks, hoodies, tank tops, whatever. If you don't got a Fighters Rep shirt or hoodie or tank top or mask, then your life just isn't complete and you don't know shit about the fight game. I'll talk to you soon, Knuckleheads.